Kimmie Rose, and this is your weekly vibe and mantra for I cannot believe the September the 28th to October the 6th, 2019 AD. It's been an interesting week, and I can honestly say this is probably going to be one of the vibe and mantras that I do that you might see me a little emotional because this week touches very near and dear to my heart. A lot is going on. I've had a lot of people asking me what is going on with the energy. It just seems like it's one bad thing after another. And I keep telling people, remember, energy flows where you direct it. But it's also important to direct your energy to things that are unresolved in the present. So we often have these past situations that can move into our present time. And yes, they can be unresolved past things that are lingering in the present. And a lot of that is coming up. I'm seeing it more and more with friends who are having some real issues with their family, who they felt like they have these expectations of what they want from their parents and or siblings and things like that, and these things are really beginning to hurt them. And whether they have a child and they're like, wow, it would be so nice if you would be involved. And the thing that we can't do is we can't force people. We can't force people to be somebody that they're not. And it's interesting because it's usually the people that really strive to have things working out, who want things to be nice, that want things to blend and flow nicely. It's usually the people that do that who will strive the hardest to make things work out, even at their own self-sacrifice. What is starting to happen as Saturn is now direct and we've got a new moon coming in, it's asking us to look at the things that have happened they're still in the now, and ask yourself, how did you get to this place? Now, it doesn't have to all be bad, but some of it is stuff that makes you feel stuck. And it's a lot of unresolved type things. And it even could be legal things that are unresolved. It could be family things where maybe somebody is had an argument with someone, and let's say you're in an argument and that person, you haven't even, that person just wrote you out of their life. And it's like many people are going, why? And then they're hearing why through different people, when in reality, all they want to do is sit down and really listen to why from those other people or that person or whoever they're having a problem with. But for some reason, the people rather go around and tell everybody else, but don't want to tell that person. And that person, I'm finding as I talk to people, they're starting to see patterns. I know so many that have went to therapy, especially, and they're telling me, I'm not that person that, they remember me. At least I didn't think I was. At least I tried to do my best. And why is it that I did it myself, and I didn't say anything negative or bad. But why is it now that this other person is in, their life, whether it be a relationship or maybe even a relationship with your child where another parent wasn't there, and you never said anything, and you literally never even told your child that you would pick up the phone and call and say, I had, somebody tell me this, and I've been through this. You pick up the phone and say, what? Can you just please help? Can you come? Click. And you're just like sitting there going, okay, I can deal with this. But anybody knows, if you're a single mom, sometimes it's hard because children, they treat their mothers much different than their fathers. And hey, dads, I'm not taking anything away from you, but there starts to get these distortions. And a lot of people right now are going to want to be stating their cases and be saying, hey, you know what? And this will be over the last couple of years. This is what happened. This really happened. And they can't believe. I've had so many people that are like going, I can't even believe this is happening. I had people say, like in work, I can't believe that I've worked so hard, and all of a sudden people are coming in and everything I've created, they're changing. And so it's a week of like Saturn coming in and saying, okay, I know this has been happening, but why? And so it's a week where, honestly, and I say this with such love, that you may get angry. And if you were brought up not to get angry, and you were just told, get over things, forgive things, or maybe you feel angry because someone said, or is looking at you like you're the troublemaker, and they don't understand the pain that you're going through, that it's not a physical pain, it's a deeper pain. I mean, so many people come to me and they're saying, I don't understand why I can't talk about this hurt, because I realize the reason I ended up in bad jobs or having problems in relationships, or maybe even problems in my own personal relationships with my children, is because I didn't want them to get hurt as much as I was hurt when I was a child. I want to be fair. And many people, I've talked to a lot of survivors of incest. I'm also a survivor. And when someone goes through that, a lot of people don't understand that there's a chemical in the back of the brain that actually, like, stops flowing. Because a child just can't comprehend that someone that they trust is hurting them. And if you're a parent that your child has told you that they've been abused, I have one word for you. Get them help. Because if you don't, they will encounter a lot of struggles in their life. And even if they say, no, I don't want help, get them help. Because when someone abuses a child, it changes the course of their life forever. And if anybody wants to argue that, you can. But the truth is, things are never the same. And I ask you, no matter what you're going through, maybe it isn't abuse. Maybe you had a fight, or you did all this work, and all of a sudden somebody comes in and they're giving it to other people. Deal with it. Maybe you've done all kinds of work at work because you're a high achiever, and then somebody got hired in, and all the stuff you planned and put together is basically being just, that's it. They got a promotion, you didn't, and here you organized it all, and you feel like, wow, what's going on? I guarantee you that you have the personality of someone that wants to take care of everything. And most likely, you will still be expected to do that work, and somebody might have got a promotion, and they're going to be trying to go over the things you did, and that's only because you're going to still do it. So this is a time to stand up for yourself and say, listen, I matter. I matter. This is not a time that you should feel guilty about saying, I matter. Do you know why I may have made wrong choices? Do you know why I always want to fix things? Like, especially like a couple people I know at jobs who just literally have been through some things, and so they took on that responsibility. I know somebody who like didn't have a home when they were younger, and so that job was so important. They went in there, they worked their butt off, and now it's turning upside down, and they're starting to feel like that homeless child again. These feelings are rising to the surface, just like me. That's that feeling of being violated is coming up, because I've seen the repetitive cycles of, and then it was like people bringing it up to me, saying things like, wow, it's really sad that you choose things a certain way. And I thought, did you ever think about why that happened? Did you ever think that maybe because I had a pretty good childhood, except for that situation, that maybe had I gotten the right help, that I would have had a different life, instead of blaming me or acting like, maybe. But you can't blame them, because maybe they didn't know that you needed that help, or you needed to talk to somebody. But I can just say right now, and I hope this video not only helps you with the mantra and the vibe, but also if you have a child that's going through something, get them help. Their mind is at a place that can heal. They deserve that. Otherwise, very much so, it can be that child will go through some pretty crazy things in their life, and they can be pleasers, put themselves on high pedestals, and when that child falls, they'll probably fall into maybe addiction. They could fall into bad relationships. If they feel like they disappointed you, what will happen is they will fall harder. They will then feel guilty, go through these cycles of guilt. Because it's like the feeling of wanting to talk, and then guilt. Urge to fix it, guilt. Because they feel bad, like they're dragging you into their stuff. My my advice to you is recognize that when you're a family, the best thing you can do is stop saying, have you got rid of your hurt yet? And ask, what is that hurt? And care enough to be present. I've had people that have called me and they've said, I am so frustrated with him and I'm like, but there's a reason for this. There's a reason. So this is a time of claiming the moment. And if there's something that needs to be resolved, and if you feel like you have been, like you're being like that, that's the thing, like that child that was abused, and now you're being abused, and it's touching on that child. It's bad when you're being told you're bad, you're not worth anything. All those words that are coming in, if you're a person that has given that person those words, you may have just not really known why you were giving those words to that person. But did you know that person already thought that about themselves? If they have been through something like that. Every day when someone has been molested, they think of death. Doesn't mean they do it, but they think that that's because it's like a death. I've seen some amazing people, though, that have been through that and got through it by getting that right assistance. This is a time right before the holidays where a lot of people might be going through like a lot of anxiety and really needing, because things are coming up and things are going to get repeated, things are going to come to the surface. It's a time where people get lonely and they want to leave this earth because they don't feel that they matter. And I hope that if you're watching this, that you know that you matter. And the reason I talk about, what I went through as a child is because I have a voice and I matter. And I can seem like the biggest pain in the butt lately. But I will not be treated the way I was treated when I was little. Because when you claim your power, it doesn't mean you go and you treat other people like hit them or punch them, or it just means I will not be ignored. I want answers. I will not be called those same things, because you don't know how much it hurts. Nor did you ever ask me. I had a girl say this to me, and it touched me when she said this. Nor did my daughter ever ask me, she said. Because her daughter, she moved out west. My daughter never asked me, not once, why I worked so hard. She never asked me once how that situation affected me. That's a tough thing, because it does affect people. Just like when somebody's doing a job and all of a sudden somebody comes in and it's like, whoa, I've been doing that job. So how can we take the energy of Saturn and really use the vibration of it Number one, Saturn is serious. Saturn, and it's, hey, we're going into also Libra Sun. So it's right there, and it says, right now, let's handle it. It stops you in your tracks. And when it does, if you gotta cry, you gotta scream a little, or you got somebody you can talk to, reach out to as many people as you can until you find someone who will support you. I'm doing this video and it's late, it's 3 o'clock in the morning because I was praying and I got the message. I need to speak from my heart about the energy that's happening this week. Maybe you feel like your family, I don't know, in a workplace, one person didn't get treated right, and so then you're not getting treated right, and it's a vicious cycle. Stand in yourself and know who you are, and do not let yourself bend. Meaning, you don't have to say anything, but no, that's not true. They can think what they want, but I will not be part of the thinking that they choose to impose upon me. Nor will I give of that same energy, but I do have a right to ask why. And so this week I'm going to say it's all about asking why. And whether you ask it to God, Creator, or whether you ask it to a friend. Maybe you can't ask it to your boss or your parent because your parent doesn't know why. Maybe your child doesn't even understand why. Why did Dad act that way, or why did Mom act that way? Maybe, just maybe there's a reason. I'm pretty sure there would be. Most of all, instead of judging, love. Instead of suffering, express. That's the kind of week we need to have, is express positives and ask why. I wanted to read you something. You are free to make whatever choice you want, but you're not free from the consequences of that choice. So whatever you choose to do, know that the way you express yourself, there will be a consequence, and that consequence I'm changing this around, this whole programming that has been out there. That's like, well, if you're not nice and you don't think about me, then guess what? You're a bad person. You know what? If you're a good person and you know you're a good person and you never would ever intend to hurt anyone, and you have expressed something inside of yourself, the consequences will be good if you're doing it for the reasons of bettering yourself and even the people around you, because you have to put your oxygen mask on first before you can help anyone else. So, the weekly mantra, just going to make this kind of a silent one and just bring in the energy of your heart. I know in every action there's an opposite reaction. that my choices sometimes come with happiness, but know that choice is always mine. The affirmation and the mantras in life, the choices I make, I empower myself with, and when I empower myself, I am being the most honest expression to those around me. You can do it. And that is a big thing, and I love to hear your feedback because you do matter more than you could ever imagine. You know, when you come to watch this channel, I hope that something I said, even one thing, will touch your heart. I don't do this for any other reason but to touch someone's heart, to know what a beautiful difference that you make. And no matter what you're going through, I hope you know you're worth it. Thank you so much for joining me. And every week I do these. Please hit the subscribe button and give me a thumbs up. And also, I've got a few other things going on. I'm going to be releasing my book, Wake Up Your Intuition. If you go over to kimmierose.com, you can actually check out the information, the links, all the cool stuff. And most of all, know that you matter. I'm just looking at myself. I'm like, yeah, I look a little tired. But you know what? I say this with so much strength inside of me. Do all things with love. But that means let's get rid of all that old stuff that says, if you don't do all things with love to other people, what about you? Do all things with love to you. And when you do that, everything will change. Everything. And when you speak words that are really hurtful to someone, you judge them, go inside and ask yourself, why? Why am I hurting so much? And did that person really do good too? For to see the good in others is to know the good in ourselves. Again, thanks for joining me. If you want to get a reading, and this is a week that I'm going to be excited to work with people so that we can just peel away at those layers and then just get to working on that core without anger, without anything except healing. And by working on that core, you can open your spirit up and find that freedom that you want. You can go over to litetheway.com. That's Lite, theway.com. Also, 734-854-1514. I'm Kimmie Rose. Have a blessed week, and I mean that. Bless you.
nights, and every breath of hers was